Why does God sometimes remove people from your life? Not just strangers, not just casual friends, but people you cared about deeply, people you trusted, people you prayed for, people you thought would stay, and one day they are gone. No clear explanation, no proper goodbye, sometimes not even closure. And you're left with questions you don't know how to answer. Was it my fault? Did I do something wrong? Did I mishear God? Or is this just random pain? If you've ever felt that kind of loss, this message is for you. Because sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection, and what feels like loss may actually be direction. The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes 3:1 that to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. That means not every person is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people are only for a season. They come to teach you something, shape you, or even help you grow. And when that season is complete, the connection changes. It doesn't always feel peaceful when it ends. In fact, it often feels painful. But not every ending is a punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. One reason God removes people is to protect you. There are things you cannot see in people's hearts. You see the smile, you hear the words, you remember the good moments. But God sees everything. He sees intentions, He sees future outcomes, He sees what we cannot see. Sometimes a person is not bad in your present, but they are not right for your future. And God, in His wisdom, steps in before deeper harm happens. It may feel sudden to you, but it is not sudden to Him. Another reason God removes people is to redirect your path. There are relationships that keep you comfortable in places you are supposed to grow out of, people who keep you in cycles that God is trying to break, conversations that keep you stuck in the past when God is trying to move you forward. So God gently removes the distraction so you can see the direction. At first, it feels like emptiness, but slowly, clarity begins to come. You start to notice things you ignored before. You start to think differently. You start to grow in ways you didn't expect. Another reason is growth. Sometimes, God grows you beyond certain relationships, not because the people are bad, not because they are enemies, but because growth changes alignment. Think about a plant. When it outgrows its pot, it must be moved. If it stays, it becomes restricted. It stops growing properly. In the same way, God sometimes removes people because your growth requires a new space. And not everyone is meant to go into the next version of your life. That can hurt, especially when you love them. But growth is not always comfortable. It is often quiet, painful, and confusing at first. Another reason God removes people is to bring your attention back to Him. Sometimes, without realizing it, we begin to rely too much on people. Their presence becomes our comfort. Their approval becomes our confidence. Their words shape our emotions more than God's word does. And slowly, our focus shifts. So God, in His mercy, creates distance, not to hurt you, but to heal your dependence. Because He knows that anything you depend on more than Him can eventually hurt you. This is not punishment, it is correction with love. You may not understand it in the moment. You may feel alone. You may feel confused. You may even feel abandoned. But the Bible reminds us in Psalm 30:14 that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Even in loss, God is near. Even in silence, He is working. Even in endings, He is present. Sometimes we also need to accept this truth. Not everyone who leaves is taken by God. Some people leave by choice, some drift, some change, some seasons simply end naturally. But even then, God can use what is broken for something good. Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good for those who love God. Even confusion, even loss, even endings that don't make sense yet. One day you may look back and understand why that person had to leave, not with anger, not with regret, but with peace. Because clarity often comes after distance. And here is something important to remember. When God removes someone, He is not removing love from your life. He is making space for something healthier. Sometimes that space is for healing. Sometimes it is for new relationships. Sometimes it is for you to finally meet yourself again without distractions. And sometimes it is simply for you to walk closer with Him. If you are going through this right now, don't rush your healing. Don't force explanations. Don't try to reopen doors God is closing. Instead, sit with Him. Pray honestly. Say, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you. That kind of prayer is powerful because trust does not always come from understanding. Sometimes it comes from surrender. And in surrender, peace slowly returns. So, why does God remove people from your life? Not destroy you, not to punish you, but to protect you, redirect you, grow you, and bring you closer to Him. And one day, when your heart is calmer and your vision is clearer, you will see it. It was not abandonment, it was alignment. And what felt like loss was actually God leading you into something better.